Adapt, change, evolve. Ascended Master. Serapis Bay Weekly Message, March 14, 2014. Received by Julie Miller, March 14, 2014. Just about every dear soul lacks a certain amount of awareness at no fault of their own about who they are. And this lack of awareness is not about who you are on the outside, but who you are on the inside, to the core level where all your conditioning, ego and defenses are. Thankfully, each of you has the ability to adapt, to change and to evolve, and that you are doing each day. You go through life playing a game with your true self, something like a hide and seek. Some days you find it, other days it seems elusive. Your own behaviors have become adapted for many reasons depending on what you have been exposed to from certain situations and experiences. Being adaptable is an important life skill. Your ability to survive and evolve depends on your ability to adapt to new situations and outcomes arise from your falls and to continue pushing ahead. If you look at businesses, if they are unable to adapt to the economy and to the supply and demand of the customers, then they eventually go broke and close up shop. The same principle, dear ones, can be applied to your relationships. Even the simplest act of putting on warmer boots when the weather indicates a drop in temperature is your demonstration of being adaptable. As you can see, dear ones, being adaptable serves you in many good and positive ways. There is always a risk when you are bringing in new changes and adapting to new ways of being. What you risk, dear ones, is losing your relationship with who you truly are at the core level. We have witnessed how easy it is for you to compromise your most valued beliefs and desires just for attention from your peers, to fit in with a certain social group. The pressures you feel to be like other dear souls overwhelms you at times, and you choose to push away from your true self and adopt a different persona. When this occurs, what you are creating, dear ones, is an internal conflict between your true self and the new one you recently adopted. We know you have every intention to maintain your true self or divine identity, but the influence met through other dear souls and of your environment makes this a great challenge that many dear souls at times seems to underestimate its drawing temptations. It is only natural, even under the best circumstances and with the best intentions. Your need to fit in will override your values and ethics. Your actions then become a contradiction of what your values and ethics are, and on the inside there is an emotional upheaval going on, because by submitting to adapt just to fit in and to become like everyone else conflicts with your true self. In time you will find yourself fatigued from the pressures, and you will need to resolve these inner conflicts. It is important, dear ones, to recognize when these internal struggles are occurring and to make steps to resolve them. If you remain being someone you are not for the sole purpose to fit in with a certain social or work group, then you risk losing touch with the part of you that has been uncomfortable with your decision since the first time you chose to go against your values and ethics. If you remain in the environment that has encouraged you to adapt in ways that don't fit who you truly are, then may feel compelled to bury your values just to try to stop your uneasiness and discomfort. But burying your internal conflicts and resolve them. All burying does is put the awareness of the discomfort out of reach. But instead of being surrounded by peace and harmony, you are greeted by hurtful disharmony inside you. What was buried will become like a virus or disease and will in subtle tones begin to create problems on an emotional level that will eventually find their way back to the surface. There are many dear souls that purposely sabotage their own success. This could occur in any area of their lives, in their work, relationships, even with their health. Just as soon as things start to look good and promising, then it looks as if the wind has left their sails. Sometimes, what is happening here, dear ones, is a buried internal conflict is trying to surface in order to be dealt with. And the dear soul that is having intermittent successful wins occurring in their life often feel they don't deserve happiness, that they don't deserve to be successful, etc. The disharmony that fills their life gravely affects their self-esteem even though they may not be aware of this phenomena. Each of you deserves to be happy and deserves to be successful. Allow your sails to be open to catch the wind that will direct you to more success and to more experiences that are rich with joy and happiness. Suffering from internal conflicts can take away your joy and make it difficult to find joy in the simplest of places. Moodiness often occurs and sometimes deep sadness. Your energy may feel non-existent, and it is necessary, dear ones, to understand that it takes energy to fight your emotional conflicts that have become deeply ingrained into your total self, causing heavy discord in your life, because you are capable to adapt. This also means any conflicts you have with your inner self can also be changed. We understand you have needs for security, approval of others, and to have a certain amount of control in your life. But it is just as important to remember who you are and that the values that you had yesterday can easily change by tomorrow. Part of your growth and development comes from your ability to adapt, to bring in changes, even if some of those changes were not for the greater good. You still learned, and from the knowledge that you gained, you are able to make better choices next time you have become wiser. We know it will be a challenge to be in harmony with your true self when there are so many external pressures and temptations knocking at your door. You have many choices to make, and each one helps you to adapt. You will bring in change. But it is up to you to learn to avoid the traps of internal conflicts by being more self-aware and understanding yourself from the very core of your being. Take the time, dear ones, to rediscover your true self. Get in touch with your deepest values, beliefs, and desires. By doing so, you are able to bring peace and harmony into your inner self, and then bring this calming energy to your external self. It is important, dear ones, to teach yourself to rise above the tempting traps of your environment and lifestyle choices. Figure out who you are, and learn what it is you want from life, where you want this path and journey to take you, and commit yourself to what you have concluded. Remember, any kind of attempt to create a meaningful life path must also include knowledge of your true self. To forge ahead without it would inadvertently compromise your own values and dreams that give you your unique personal distinctiveness. Deep inside, you don't want to be like everyone else, and we encourage you to be you, for you are beautiful and special just as you are. It takes great courage to remain true to yourself and not to be drawn into certain social groups, and even greater strength to not change your ways in order to be pleasing to others. Your life will never be dull. Even if at times it appears so, there is always something to learn, and something to do. We have much to become, and so it is /VT pitch. I am Ascended Master, Serapis Bay through Julie Miller.
Tired of having question marks above your head? Are you tired of being led? Are you tired of listening to people when nothing they say works? If you're finally tired of all this, then it is time for you to get true enlightenment and rely on yourself. That's right, you are more than you think you are. Want to learn more than the thousands already are? Get Canadian knowledge today. mrfleet.webs.com.
A channeling from Mira from the Pleiadian High Council, March 8, 2014. Greetings, I am Mira. I think most of you know that I am serving on the Earth Council to assist the Earth with the ascension process. We are your observers, your advocates, your teachers, your friends. We are with you and have been with you from the beginning until the end. We help you in many different ways. We are with you in person and not just in the skies. We love it when you wave to our ships and welcome us with your hearts and smiles. This encourages us to connect with you further. Some of you are waiting for a big event. We know you are hoping it will be us coming en masse, or that we will take away some of your lessons. Well, what I want to tell you about this is that you are in the big event now. It is the ascension process, and if we were to come en masse, or if you were in 3 days of darkness, most of humanity could not handle it. You already know this, but holding the energies for us to come or for other massive spiritual awakenings is still paramount. It is part of your jobs. I am asking you not to put your lives on hold but to continue to do your inner work and keep opening our hearts. Continue to join with others in meditations and prayers for the planet. When you do this work, it impacts the consciousness more than you know. There is goodness coming to you. It will ease some of the burdens and make big differences in your lives. It will free you and help remove fear. Fear is one of the biggest obstacles to your ascension in consciousness. This is why many of you are facing challenges in this area. Remember that fear is non-existent in the higher dimensions. We know your hearts and your beautiful faces. As ground crew, you are welcome signs to us. Before your incarnations, we planned together with you about how we would work together at this time. You will be stepping up the pace of your work. You will notice that there will be nudges for you to do something different or new. You will be guided to become more visible. Many of you are with us in your dreams. We are busy going around assessing what needs to be done. If you wake up tired, you might have been in a long meeting with us deliberating what needs to be done in various places. See? We are already working together. You know who you are, and we will get together with you in person when the consciousness is right. Continue being the sparkling lights on the earth. You are making a huge difference just being the light. Keep your eyes on the sky and your hearts open to each other. We are one. I am Mira in loving service. Channeled through Valerie Donner. www.thegroundcrew.com.
Tired of having question marks above your head? Are you tired of being led? Are you tired of listening to people when nothing they say works? If you're finally tired of all this, then it is time for you to get true enlightenment and rely on yourself. That's right, you are more than you think you are. Want to learn more than do what thousands already are? Get creating in knowledge today. mrfluid.webs.com.
Hilarian's Weekly Message, March 30th to April 6, 2014. Beloved ones, the times that are before you are filled with many cosmic occurrences that will bring an even greater increase in the cleansing energies, and it is extremely important to stay attuned with the changes and stay grounded in your everyday lives. We call them cleansing energies, but what this energy downloading upon your planet really is in actuality is the divine feminine unconditional love energy. When those upon your planet are touched by this divine energy, it creates openings in all those areas of one's being that are still in need of healing and balancing. All old wounds are being brought to the surface to be finally healed and released. Many of these wounds were felt as trauma during childhood, and these were stored in the subconscious realms of the human psyche. As these are reawakened and brought to the surface into the conscious mind, it can create emotional difficulty, which depends to a large extent on each person's ability to face these traumas with the wisdom that has been gleaned in one's adult life through adapting to life's experiences. All depends upon the ability of each person to be willing to look at these unresolved aspects from a time when they did not have much experience in dealing with the complexities of life upon their world. Each person brings their own unique perspective to each event that occurs in their personal world, and these events can be viewed from either a victim point of view or as a learning and valuable growth experience which adds to the strengths and abilities that one has gained. Such is the way upon a planet that honors the free will of its inhabitants. If an individual chooses to look at events in their life from a victim viewpoint, then their life will give them more of what they choose to experience. On the other hand, if an individual chooses to look at an event in their life from a higher perspective as valuable lessons learned and gained, life will reflect back to them all that they express in gratitude. These times are unique and special, however, for what many people are now in the midst of releasing and revisiting will not continue to cycle over and over again. There is coming a time when the force of love upon the planet will be so great that all old stubborn issues and traumas from the past will just fade from people's consciousness. This will help to facilitate a new way of being for all of humanity. There will no longer be an endless list of infractions that one individual has committed against another. There will only be acceptance and forgiveness, with people understanding that love erases all that went before. There will be a fresh start for everyone who chooses to remain on the planet, and it will be like a breath of fresh air in the hearts of all. the higher qualities of love will be manifest within all souls as they remember and reconnect to the divine spark within them. Much progress will come as humanity works together in cooperation and unified effort to create a new world, a better way of serving each other in order for the highest expression of divine potential to unfold for each individual. This was the original plan for the experience of life in a human body, to allow the divine essence of the One to have expression through each of its sparks, each spark unique, special and evolving in amazing and wondrous ways. Through this diversity of experience, the One grows and expands. The gathering of the new and powerful energies, and integrating these into one's human operating system while remaining fully grounded on Earth, is the next step for all, and is already in progress. The changes start within each individual, within their bodies and within their consciousness, and as that which no longer serves a helpful purpose is transmuted and eliminated, more light enters the auric field of each individual, and the frequency level rises accordingly. This process assists those within their sphere of influence to also release and absorb more light. More light within each individual creates a greater field of light within the community, and this is what is happening as the changes continue. The light brings positive feelings of upliftment, joy, happiness, hope, optimism, and humanity will express these to their families and community members with greater ease. In due time the denser feelings and emotions will be no more, and humanity will not be hindered in their pursuit of experiencing life in a human body while developing their skills, talents, and abilities that they will wish to share with others, and this will enrich the life experience of everyone. The attunement of each individual with the higher aspects of their true essence brings many gifts to be shared with the world. These activities will bring more balance in Earth movements and weather patterns, and all will be in harmony and stability. Until next week. I am Hilarion. Channeled by Marlene Switless-Sultana, Keeper of the Symphonies of Grace. www.therainbowscribe.com www.movingintoluminosity.com.
Tired of having question marks above your head? Are you tired of being led? Are you tired of listening to people when nothing they say works? If you're finally tired of all this, then it is time for you to get true enlightenment and rely on yourself. That's right, you are more than you think you are. Want to learn more than do what thousands already are? Get Canadian knowledge today. mrfluid.webs.com.
Well, the FBI has been busy this week cracking down on public corruption. FBI agents officially arrested the mayor of Charlotte, North Carolina yesterday for allegedly taking tens of thousands of dollars worth of bribes. Mayor Patrick Cannon, who's been in office for less than 6 months, resigned just hours after he was arrested and was accused of taking more than $48,000 worth in bribes from undercover FBI agents posing as businessmen. The 47-year-old mayor allegedly took cash, airline tickets, a hotel room, and the use of a luxury apartment as bribes, not to mention soliciting over $1 million on top of that. But the Charlotte mayor is not the only politician to get busted by the FBI. We're also learning that a California state lawmaker has been arrested for soliciting campaign donations from an undercover FBI agent, all in exchange for introducing the agent to an arms trafficker. Senator Leland Yee, who once authored gun control legislation, is accused of accepting at least $42,000 while helping an FBI agent get weapons worth between $500,000 and $2.5 million. But the mayor and the California lawmaker are now awaiting their day in court.
Tired of having question marks above your head? Are you tired of being led? Are you tired of listening to people when nothing they say works? If you're finally tired of all this, then it is time for you to get true enlightenment and rely on yourself. That's right, you are more than you think you are. Want to learn more than do what thousands already are? Get Canadian knowledge today. mrfluid.webs.com.
Friends of our channel and YouTubers, welcome. Answers of an Alien from Andromeda, Video 114, March 24th, 2014. Friends, I had things to do from here, but returned. About the planet, As I said earlier, the Pacific Ring of Fire will show signs of overload clockwise. Observe this factor. This was the long-awaited moment in thy elite's agenda, to merge natural emergencies with pre-established plans for your people. The time is coming. Thy nuclear plants should have been decommissioned a year ago, but were not purposely. Several accidents may happen or be forged to cause turmoil in populations. As some of you may know, I had instructions not to disclose information about localized events, as this could cause some kind of social reaction, and we have no license to act as prophets. But many of you have the ability to understand a few things between the lines of our conversations, and take your conclusions. Yes, the final moments of testing viability of your societies are coming up quickly. I imagine most of you are managing to feel the tension in the atmosphere, the feeling that something might happen imminent. Well, almost everything that gets through 2014, good or bad, may continue in the coming years. Mithy, are you able to locate our aircraft which may have suffered some kind of accident? We could find if we had the details of the fact, but we cannot engage directly with the random events. There are thousands of flights of your aircraft, daily, and we do not monitor the activities of each of them, whether because it is not our business. So the only thing I can say for sure is that there was no abduction of that aircraft by any alien race, because this activity is being monitored by Pleiadians and nothing is removed from the planet without being catalogued by them. This event is most likely a result of some of your political dissent groups to create expectations or delete any unilateral threat. And no, there will be no alien invasion, or Nephilim, or Greys. There will be races supporting their ancestral colonies, nothing more. As I've said before and long ago, Russia, China and the Middle East are a group that has never been integrated in the faction of elites who control the planet. Always been endured and considered as a second-class citizens. But the problem is that they armed themselves about the same time that your elites after the last World War, having simultaneous access to atomic weapons technologies developed by your scientists in Germany. The geopolitical behavior of your planet is heading towards a possible confrontation of these two factions, and second, all trends indicate Russians and Middle East take care of the West, and China will take care of Asia and Europe. I'm not giving dates, but as a scientist in this area I say that these trends will take root in very little time, taking advantage of event, natural disasters and other scheduled disasters. See, the cast of your ruling elites exclude elements of the Middle East, Russians, Jews, or Asians. These races were considered by them as a second useful class over a long period, and have now become a problem. The top of your social pyramid will fall, and the other top will attempt to install in place, but they will have the surprise. They will not get there how they want, as this colony will follow rules of galactical community shortly after such dispute happens indeed. Many spacecraft have already begun to show sporadically, to begin familiarizing people about our presence on the planet, even without the official consent of the Community Galactica, which has done blind eye to these events. Large fleets of spacecraft races who planted their seeds here are based on base Antarctica, sending reconnaissance units to all points of the globe for their final evaluations. Each one can take specific measures with respect to their ethnic groups, if approved by the board in Community Galactica. Mithy, some say there is a class of elongated skulls living among us. This is true? You have asked me about the night crawlers, the Sasquatch, the sirens, the dolphins, the reptilians, but never asked me how many races of intelligent beings living here on the planet. I guess I always waited for that question never asked. Well, my friends, yes, there is a breed that descends directly from Atoons. There are more than 40,000 years maintained colonies here on the planet. They were a team that decided to stay in the withdrawal of the colonies administered by Atoons. They wanted to enable the race here, and they all were originally volunteers. As such, they were here without any of the original technologies, to start from scratch, and just happened to not have worked, but not sure if they will continue on the planet in this new stage of the colony. They were almost extinct several times when the planet passed by global cataclysms, and they were persecuted by various cultures of these wild times for being different. They are very intelligent, but lack the practicality of implementing solutions like ordinary humanoids. For their skills, since the days of Atlantis, they were revered as priests, those who had the words of heaven, and they were responsible for the scientific and astrological development of newer people like Incas, Aztecs, Mayans, Egyptians, and currently work with the orders that descend these varieties and still reign on the planet. During those thousands of years being born on a planet at 0 level, they regressed from level 3 to level 1, and were the first to notice the change in level of the planet. They are inhabitants of the planet Earth as you who were also brought here. They are another race, with other DNA, very intelligent, but as they are not practical for survival alone, they join with the elite since the time of the last global cataclysm in Egypt, and are kept in subterranean colonies and in some very specific places well insulated from other societies, working in exchange for those of intelligent services. They served and serve as ceremonial contacts between various races of Greys and other alien races from early times of colonization of Atlantis until the present day, talking telepathically with them without problems. Therefore they gained acceptance and unrestricted protection of the dominant elites. Many of them worked with scientists reptilians when they were still here, and many are now living in the colony on Mars too. See, they are not bad. They are simply dependent. They have very little breeding, and so the race did not get a great development on the planet, being in the range of approximately 10,000 individuals currently. Do not care too much about them, because if the elites fall, they may fall along too. Even if they survive, they are not fighters, are thinkers, will not pose any threat. I'll get back to you as soon as something is about to happen, or to give general news. Be well, friends.